released him for today's game. They've played 2 JLT Cup games now, but they must have released him, and I think it'll be good for him to get out and get some time in the middle at Howell Oval. Hopefully get some confidence up for him, but hopefully not too much. Hopefully we can knock him over pretty early.
You mentioned Peter Forrest before, and you've been hoping that you've got a coach that can develop your career even further. How has Pete been over the last 3 months or so?
Yeah, Pete's been really good. He's really turned Hawkesbury around. I guess Hawkesbury over the last couple of seasons have gone through a little bit of a disarray, I guess, with a different coach. And towards the end of last season, a few players were sort of taken from the club. So Pete's come in and changed that. He's really had a good structured pre-season. He's focused on, enjoying the game. I think he's made pre-season really enjoyable. It was all games-based. He made the fitness enjoyable. And he's just made us think a little bit more about cricket. He knows the game inside out. And he just makes us think about what we're doing. Instead of just going out there, batting, bowling, fielding, he makes us really think it through. So, yeah, he's great to have around the boys.
One aspect of today's game I'm really looking forward to there, Jake, is the fact that you're going to have both sides are going to have spin twins, like the 2 left-arm spinners for Penrith in Trent Weir and Luke Hodges. And on your side of the coin, you've got yourself and Usman Kadir, who's looks like he's going to really he's an exciting prospect as well in that Perth Scorchers BBL side, and possibility of maybe even playing a bit of cricket, maybe in the did try a little bit with Western Australia.
Yeah, that's right. He's a very exciting prospect. I've seen him bowl a couple of times, and he's very exciting. He's got all the deliveries, and I certainly can't pick him. So I'm hoping the Penrith blokes are the same. I hope they can't pick him, but no, he's outstanding. I think he's going to have a big future, particularly in Pakistan and this season, hopefully with the Scorchers. So I'm really excited to watch him bowl today. It's going to be a really good contest.
Also, obviously, 2017 was the last time the 2 teams have met. Has that grand final been brought up at all amongst the group this week?
Well, we spoke about the one-day final. Yeah, I've alluded to it a few times. I've worn my my white floppy hat a few times at training, and I just reminded the boys that this is the one that I wore in the one-day finals, one I was flinging around at the end of the day. So we got a bit of a laugh. So I always take the piss out of them. So that was good.
Now, again, we mentioned before, it's really, I know that a lot of people say it's a spin duo, but you've also got a man that can bowl a few spinners and has done a fantastic job as more so batting all-rounder. But you got Josh Clark, who can spin a few.
Yeah, absolutely. Josh is a very talented cricketer. I'm just about to have coffee with him, actually, but he's an exciting talent. He's the hardest worker in the club. He's the fittest bloke in the club. And he's an ultimate professional. He knows what he's doing, and it's great to have him around at training because he just hits balls. He'll bowl balls, he'll catch balls, and his work ethic is unbelievable. So for the young guys particularly, it's great to have him around at training.
I know that it's a different side this year for Hawkesbury, but over the last couple of years, the key thing in the one-days and T20s has been try to bowl first and then chase down runs, which they've been exceptional chasing down runs. Is that going to be sort of the case this season, or do you think that you'll be looking to set a total more so?
I think it'll change a little bit this year. I think we've got some good batters up front, so I think Pete's a pretty aggressive player, so he'll want to bat first in most games. So I think there'll be a bit. It won't be batting first every week, but it will depend on the conditions, depend on the wicket. But I think Pete, from a traditionalist point of view, will look to bat first, get a score on the board, and do our best to defend that score with the bowlers we've got.
Obviously, with Pat Cummins' inclusion as well, and available to bowl as well.
Yep.
When's the last time you've actually had to face up? Have you ever faced up to Pat at all?
I've actually never faced him. I think I've faced a couple of leggies of him in the nets, but in terms of his quick stuff, I haven't faced him. I've played in his team a couple of times, and it's been good. I've fielded at backward point, and I've been pretty scared. So today will be a good challenge. I'm looking forward to getting out there and facing, the quality of Pat Cummins and Josh Layla, I think that's where you learn the most. You play against the best to be the best, and I'm really looking forward to getting out there.
Well, it's going to be a fantastic game today. We look forward to it. The first one against, it's a great way to make your debut for Hawkesbury, a great game up against the Penrith side. Good luck, and I know that cricket's one of those games where chirping happens left, right and centre. You probably expect a little more than usual, but good luck, and hopefully a win to the Hawkesbury side on your debut.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me, guys.
All right, thanks very much. Good luck today, Jake.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks, Stu.
Jake Wholohan there, he's a fantastic kid. He's very well-spoken and heading into today's game, and he hasn't put many jobs into the Panthers side yet, which is good to hear, because usually teams give it to each other.
Oh, look, Jake's a very well-rounded person, and he's got a lot of interests away from cricket. He's a teacher by trade, and also loves his musical theatre as well. He's an aspiring actor, musical actor.
Oh, wow.
And also a musician, so he's got a lot of strings to his bow, as they say.
And that's terrific to hear, to have somebody like that who's talented at many different things. Now, Stewie, let's quickly go through the games that are coming up, of course, in the competition, the Sydney grade competition, before we get Cameron Ware on the program. Some massive matchups as we keep on talking about the Penrith Hawkesbury game. There's another classic games hitting in this competition, and Stewie will run through those quickly.
Yeah, if you've got the...
Right there, so you go through it.
Yeah, look, the first round is obviously the one-day format today. The first round of the Limited Overs Cup, it doubles up as, and the game we see Bankstown versus Gordon, Blacktown versus North Sydney, Campbelltown Camden versus Union of New South Wales, Northern Districts versus Fairfield, Parramatta, the defending champions in this format, versus Eastern Suburbs. Obviously, we've got the local derby down at Howell Oval, Penrith and Hawkesbury. Randwick, Petersham and St George will be a very interesting one, because that's where Dave Warner comes up against Josh Hazelwood and Trent Copeland in the St George side. Sutherland, we all know, has got Steve Smith playing for them today, but no Shane Watson against Mossman. Sydney University and Manly Warringah, and Western Suburbs versus Sydney.
So some interesting matchups in the games today, of course, and I know that a lot of people were talking about the Sydney grade competition, not debuts, but returns of Steve Smith and also Dave Warner, which will be great to see how they go today. That will be the headline. But for us, we're more concerned about the Hawkesbury-Penrith game. It's one of the great games. We look forward to it every year when those two do battle in some capacity, if it's the T20s, if not it's one days, or rarely a two-day game. But, of course, we are previewing this Hawkesbury-Penrith game. We spoke a couple of minutes ago to Jake Wholohan. Now it's time to catch